Alright. We got ourselves a final qualification match here for PiGFest 6. Liquid's Mana in the bottom left side of the map. Spirit in the top right. I think Spirit's got to come in as a big favorite here. Spirit is just such a fantastically well-rounded player. This man practiced as Serral's main Terran versus Zerg practice partner for many years. And that has an impact. That evolves your skill over time, that does. But he's going to start off with an interesting strategy. Is this... Yeah, it's a 2 barracks. I think this is... so we'll go for a gas now, right? Yeah? No? Wait, what? What is this? What is... Oh, it's eBay block. Wait, what? A gasless eBay block to start? Wow. Okay, this is going to be weird. Mana's going for a very standard gate first opening. Looks like he's walled off the little Reaper ledge here. I don't think it can jump up on any of those other areas. And eBay's going to go down. Oh, Mana's not scouting for it. Like he was thinking about going Cybercore, but it's not time yet. And the probe will come in and harass the barracks at home. But you can see that gas is really late. So he's planning to probably build 2, maybe even 3 Marines. You can see that gas is late. Mana should realize what's happening, especially now as he sees that SCV walk over to block the 3rd base. What do you even do here as Mana? He's blocking both expansions. Mana, I mean, he realizes that because he saw the SCV. Thankfully, he built the buildings up here. Otherwise, he wouldn't have even known. Would have walked down to his 3rd and only then realized. So he's going to have to go second gas reactively. Oh, this is an awful start for Mana. Okay, yeah, I mean, he's like, well, I can't expand. My gas isn't that early. I might as well proxy you. Oh, what a fun way to start off this qualification match. It's a best of 5 guys. Winner will go through to the group stage of PiGFest 6 tournament, which currently stands at a prize pool of almost $7,000. Hopefully we get it up to that $10,000. The last bunch of PiGFests have all been $10,000 tournaments, thanks to the generous crowdfunding of the community. And oh my lord, Spirit sees the pylon. And Mana's just going to run away. And oh no. Mana's like, the jig's up. He's caught me. But he'll never expect me to just build another one slightly further back. But because his expansion's so delayed, it just kind of makes sense, right? Your expansion's going to be so late. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of people will just take a 1-minute late expo. Mana should probably be hunting that SCV down. You do not want to let him in here to scout. Oh, this is nasty. Oh, Mana. Oh, great scout for Spirit. I mean, that's a 2-for, right? Mana kind of screwed up there, and Spirit, just an excellent scout. It is a proxy robo and a 2nd and 3rd gateway on the front. So it's a 3-gate robo all in on 1 base. Spirit is going to answer this with a 2nd barracks and a factory. He's going to be going for that command. I mean, he's just going to have so much stuff. As long as he doesn't get the bunker busted and then just defends the high ground. I mean, you can be annoying with a prism, but you're just going to be so outnumbered. And Spirit's going to be able to throw away so many SCVs when this attack finally gets going. So as long as he just non-stop builds Marines, makes probably 1 Cyclone, and then just non-stop siege tanks, I imagine this is going to be beautiful. And you could just go straight siege tank as well, since it's damage output is so much bigger than a Cyclone. Prism first does get chrono boosted here. Do we see a 4th gateway as well, do you think? I mean, if you want to build Immortals, you can't really support the 4th gateway. But the 4th gateway is nice, so when your Prism gets in the main, you can warp in 4 Zealots or Adepts or Stalkers, you know, things that'll really kill the SCVs and Marines very quickly. And indeed, it is already a siege tank. Tech Lab's on the way for the barracks. There's a little bit in Spirit's mind that has to be wondering. Is it Dark Templar? Is it 1 base blink? Is it... I mean, it's unlikely to be Oracle. He doesn't even have Marines in his main base, because... you could go Oracle, kill a few workers, and then transfer behind it, but it's going to be a bit of a dicey one. 2 Adepts, a Stalker, and a Zealot going towards the main base. 3 gateways are ready to warp in. There's an Immortal building behind us. He's going to unload in there. He's going to warp in. 2 Stalkers, 3 Stalkers. Okay, what can he get? The tank does get out safely, and these units taking some big damage. Mana's going to have to start juggling these units to safety. Saves a few of them, and he does pull back nicely. Okay, a few units do go down there unnecessarily. Just realizing now we do seem to have all the health bars on, so I'll have to change that after this game, guys. Sorry, we hopped server for this qualification match, so it looks like we had some settings on from my coaching the other day, but that is all right. 5 SCVs, that's a fantastic hold for Spirit. As long as he can stabilize, get another tank on the natural, don't lose that bunker, he should be fine. And look at that, pre-pulls the SCVs. This looks like it might just be lights out for Mana, as Spirit's going to be building tanks, 3 Marines at a time, all this sort of stuff. He's still building SCVs, which I do think is a mistake for Mana. For Spirit, I think he should just be focusing on Marine production. Oh, tanks in the open, tanks in the open? No, he couldn't drop in time. The Marines were there. If these tanks get sniped, it's a problem. Now, I think he should maybe build a Cyclone just to shut down the Prism a bit more. Normally, the counter to these sort of robo all-ins is to build a Viking. Look at that. He pretends he's going back to the low ground, but he actually goes back to the high ground. A lot of the Marines are out of position. Can he get the tank? Can he get the tank? The Marines pulled away for a moment. The SCV's a bit slow to attack, and the tank gets sniped. Big mistake there for Spirit and Mana. Dude, he is still one base stalling, guys. That natural has not been taken. He flies away right now. He's going to rejoin at the front. No, he goes straight back into the main, starts taking out the depot. That's going to limit Spirit's vision. So you see from Spirit's vision, once that depot's gone, now he's not going to have as much warning of where that prism's coming from. Uh-oh. Oh, bit of miss micro from Mana. Both the models are deep in the yellow now. But Spirit has just so much money. Combat Shields is about to come in. 16 Marines and 2 Siege Tanks. If he can defend this bunker, he's going to be in a great spot. Here we go. More units coming in on that natural. Force fields could maybe block the repair. Doesn't even get the repair in time. The Immortals are in range of the tank. The tank goes down. Big mistake there for Spirit. I can't believe Mana's actually finding a way in here. You never see games like this in 2025 anymore, but Mana, he's a king of small-scale micro. He is a Warcraft 3 player at heart. Always was as a young kid. And I've always said, no matter how much people are counting out Mana, you give him a handful of units in a Warp Prism, and he is pretty much the best player in the world no matter what. Like, he's just insane at these stages of the game. Immortals coming down. They go for the tank Stalkers from this side as well. It's a bit of a dicey push. He does pick up the Immortals and re-drop them. Oh, does get a tank. Is he going to lose an Immortal, though? Yeah, I think he is. Okay, one Immortal goes down. He saves the other two, but they're deep in the red. I think Mana may have gone too deep, though. He's actually thrown away a lot of units. That attack was nowhere near as clean as the others, and look at how much damage he just took. He's still ahead in the units lost, but you got to keep in mind, Spirit's on 2 bases. He just lost a lot of stuff. But the tank count is low, the Marine count is low. You've got to protect these Siege Tanks as Spirit. Tank gets another shot off, and it's so hard to protect these tanks. If you have a Viking, the Prism can't do this. It just gets shot down. Even if there's a Cyclone locking onto it and then running away from the Immortals, so it doesn't get shot down, it could also maybe find big damage. An Immortal goes down, but happy to trade an Immortal for a tank as Mana. Mana realizes if he can just remove these tanks, you know, he can micro around these non-stim Marines all day, and oh, the tank's exposed. An Immortal and a Stalker dropping around on top. Mass SCV repair. It's close, it's close, it's close, but it does go down. The Immortal and the Stalker do get picked up, and Adept comes back in on the natural, as does this Immortal. This game is neck and neck. There's a Nexus coming up behind it. What the hell are we looking at? Mana gets blocked. Spirit does a genius opening, but I think now, in hindsight, we can say that second barracks was a mistake. If that was a starport and there was a Viking, I do not think there's any chance here. Oh, Mana! Bit of a mistake there. Does not save that sentry. Tries to go for the fancy force field on the ramp. He's just going to go for a drop right on top. Ignores the bunker. And the force field actually does help him there. Wow! Using just the last 2 seconds of that force field from the suicide drop on top of the ramp. Gets the tank, gets out with the Prism. And remember, these tanks are everything. Without them, the Marines are just out-microed by this Prism and Gateway Protoss units. What a maddening, bizarre, strange game this has been so far for Spirit. He's got to defend that bunker, but it's going to get taken down so quickly by those 3 Immortals. And look at that. The Immortals dropping on the right side. They're trying to get in range of the tank. The Prism derping a little bit here, but the tank goes down. And once the tank's gone, you don't have any ranged firepower. You're just headbutting into heavy Immortal. The Prism micro is fantastic, and these SCVs are getting hammered. Spirit has to tap out. At this point, he's got 1 tank, 9 Marines. I mean, he's still up in workers, but, I mean, can he defend the next wave is the real question. I think with the Adept shading in, the answer is no. 4 Immortals, shields, the barrier's starting to come off cooldown. Does he commit to it? No, he cancels, but he's going to go to the main. He realizes you can't cover the main and the natural at the same time here. And he's going to come in from the high ground with the Immortal drop. Gets one in range of that tank. Quickly saves it from dying. The Immortals do get picked up to safety. And once the tank's gone, it's back to a simple fight where you can just pull back and the Marines have to chase into you. Beautiful play here by Mana. Saves that last Immortal as well. And what a fun game 1 here in our qualification match. I think Spirit, he had the read. If he knew it was Robo, which I guess is probably the most likely all in here. And the second barracks just doesn't add that much to it. It's great for the follow-up, but I think the starport is the safer play, and we saw why. Now, to be fair, I think Spirit, if he didn't lose that first tank the first time, if he split his Marines a bit better, maybe he could have deflected it. Maybe you build a turret or 2 or something once you realize you're playing a Prism. But it's the mobility of the Warp Prism that creates so many issues for you here. And look at this. The Adepts are going to go in. He's got the Immortal spread to come up from 2 sides. I think it's time that he commits now. He gets in the mineral line. No. Oh, moves up the ramp a little bit. He's got to be careful. Takes 2 tank shots there. That means both barriers are gone for the next 30 seconds on these 2 Immortals. They can be a little more fragile. He's going to attack, though, from both sides. Mana does not want to leave this up to chance. Doesn't want to leave any time. Does lose 1 Immortal. The Prism gets focused by those Marines. Great move by Spirit, but he's just got no firepower behind it. The SCVs are gone. The tanks are gone. And Mana taking a fantastic game 1. All right, guys. Well, I said he was an underdog, but apparently you put him in a hard spot, and he knows exactly what to do. Mana in the top left side of the map. Might be time for Spirit to try and create the most generic game possible. Obviously, I think old school, I would do 1-Rax expand for that. I think Mana's definitely not known for like his macro prowess, but he's an incredibly good small scale micro player. So yeah, there's an argument that Spirit just forced Mana into his strongest position. I mean, it was still a bad start for Mana, right? And he was limited, and Spirit knew it was coming. But that is where Mana does his best work, right? When he's just microing a few pieces, trying to find value. I've always said that like Mana struggles so much in Protoss versus Zerg because he basically just ends up not macroing as well as other Protoss players. He's just not a guy who's good at memorizing exact chrono boost timings and having non-stop probe production. He's a player who likes to feel his way through the game, forcing reactions, forcing problems from his opponents. eBay blocked 2 games in a row. I never like eBay blocked 2 games in a row. I know some players won't check for it, but Mana is checking for it. He's playing responsibly here, and he can pull probes. He's a little slow to pull probes. He's like trying to very consciously not overreact. But that's, I think, a big mistake. He's giving this so much build time. This is bad control for Mana. Gotta call a spade, guys. That if you pull 4 probes in total immediately, I mean, it should never even get this much built on it, and it should die pretty quickly. But he's gonna go Cybercore there. He's building his. He's leaving 3 workers on gas as well. Most people will leave just 1 worker on gas, enough to get in the depth. He's also letting the SCV build there because he's busy microing on this side. He has seen it's a 1-Rax expand. He's trying to block that expansion from going down. The SCV does escape. Does feel like Mana's getting slightly out microed here, but he builds a pylon to block the command center. This is what we call a spike pylon, guys, because command centers for Terran can lift off. Engineering Bay does get cancelled, so he just forces it to get placed off position, cancels it, says, well, kind of worth the 25 minerals just to be annoying, especially since I couldn't place my own Nexus until now. But yeah, I think this Nexus could have been a good 20 seconds earlier if Mana wanted to optimize that. That being said, he's got a Zealot out, right? Does he? Oh, he cancelled. Okay, he cancelled the Zealot because the probes did the job. Second gas is there. He's also got a good gas count, so his Twilight Council timing could actually be really nice, right? Like if he drops that about now or sometime soon, especially if he wants to skip the second gateway unit, he could get it very early. But Spirit's going to go factory. 2.5 minute factory. This is not an early factory at all. Bunker positioning is a little wonky here as well for Spirit because of the command center. So you could shade past, and the bunker's miles away from the ramp. I mean, I guess you cover yourself from later blink attacks there, but that's so far from defending this high ground ridge and the blink areas up there. Now, you'll notice there's enough of a gap. I don't think Stalkers can get in here. So this is kind of like cool. I like here on Persephone the way they've designed the map to be like a big open main, but also to not be crazy abusable by blink. Oh, already 1 SCV? I would have sacrificed the Adept going for that second SCV on the high ground, because for me, Adepts seeing SCVs in the open, it's like a moth to a flame. I just can't resist. Oh, third command center goes down. Okay. So Spirit says, let's slow this right down and play a macro game. Now, he's not going to be happy with what we can see. Look at that. Sentry. Sentry coming in. Because if he immediately fills that with energy recharge, which he's not going to be able to because he's chrono boosting probes pretty hard, is Mana. But if he... I guess it's like 30 seconds from now is when he's going to hallucinate. So he'll scout about the time the command center is finished and starting an orbital. So it's not a bad timing. It's still good for Mana, but it's not as good as scouting immediately. Because if he saw it straight away, he wouldn't even need a third gateway. He could just go immediately for a third Nexus, and he's already delaying the robo till after 3-gate blink. This is some would say a risky build. Sentry hit 75 energy right now, and near instantly goes for the hallucinated Phoenix. Alien on the right side, Marine pulling back. Looks like that was maybe a misrally. Third barracks is coming up, so 3 barracks factory, no starport, which means there's no real aggressive options in the air. You don't have to worry about drops or anything like that. Let's see if he can spot all of this info. I mean, Marines can't stop hallucinated Phoenix. Even though they do double damage to it, just flies right past. Unless it flies directly over 8 Marines, it's not going to be a big deal. Now, this was 1 gas to this point. Very mineral-focused build for Spirit. Mana sees that, and he should immediately be dropping a third. But Hellion toasts his probe. Nicely done. It is 3 gas and 42 probes for Mana. Stalkers take out the Hellion. Nicely done. All right, Spirit dropping mules, adding a third gas. Engineering Bay goes down. Next up for him, guys, factory's going to swap off. He's going to build a reactor with it and a starport next to it for the swap. You can see how he's just using his factory as an add-on builder. Oh, no. He's changed his mind. He says, I need more tanks. I think because the third is kind of late for Protoss, he's worried about 4-gate blink. He doesn't have a tank on the low ground yet. And when you're playing this greedy, that does make sense. Tank positioning is so safe. I would argue too safe. I think he should be up here. Up to the right, a full 1 or 2 spaces, because the Stalkers can actually range him. So that, yep, you see the Stalkers are now out of tank range. The Marines will move forward, though, finish off the 2 weak ones. Good micro by Spirit there. He's got another tank about to pop out, but it looks like that depot will be easy pickings. Mana could try to kill the reactor as well, but as the tank comes forward, he's just going to blink away. Smart move. Third Nexus is on the way, guys. We've got the third Nexus. Starport's coming in behind, but with no add-on to swap onto. His medevacs are going to be crazy late. I mean, to be fair, you don't want to really move out from 2 bases for a while when you play this style. Extra tech lab coming in, 4th and 5th barracks as well. Stalker's going to go for the bunkers. Where's the SCV repair? Oh my gosh, Spirit actually blocking his own SCVs from pulling there. Loses both bunkers. Oh, unnecessary mistake there for Spirit. That's going to cost him. That's going to cost him big time. He has 3 tanks. Both tanks, all of his Marines were up in the main. I mean, that's a very big mistake. With 2 tanks there, it's such an unassailable main. His Marines should have been focused on his natural. Most players would also leave an SCV or a Marine out front, so if they see the Stalkers rotate, they pull SCVs to repair, but he kind of disrespected. He thought he was super safe. He does stim there, loses a tank, but does kill a few of these Protoss units. Tank's trying to move down this ramp. This tank's blocking the ramp right now. Oh, gosh. Dude, I can't believe Mana's finding this much damage. Mana's only on 50 workers. He doesn't have a big economy at all. This is how Nightmare used to play. I remember Nightmare, the Korean Protoss, used to play this way all the time a long time ago. Oh, he's going to blink in. He's going to get 1 tank. I think he's going to get both. Oh, he does barely get both. The Prism does get focus fired by Spirit, though. Good move for Spirit, but look at this. Spirit without siege tanks and bunkers. He's just dead in the water. He's just got nothing to do with this. 1 more tank's about to pop out. He's taking massive damage. If Mana takes a 4th behind this, Double Forge, bloody Robo Bay, whatever he wants. I mean, Mana can do whatever he wants behind this. Stalker's picking off so many units. He's heavily damaged, so he should get out of there. Does lose 1 Stalker to the tank, but 16 workers going down, and that's a total of, 17 this game. So 16 over the last 2 minutes of this constant fighting with the Blink Stalkers. Zealot's coming forward, a Warp Prism as well. Looks like Mana wants to kind of lean on his opponent, but I have to be a little critical. He's got 3 full bases, and with no Forge, feels like Mana's clicking with his army a little bit more than his macro. And he's going to start floating a lot of money here. No splash damage. He's got 3 gases as well, so... I mean, don't get me wrong, I love that he's leaning on the pressure because I do think Spirit's still very vulnerable to dying. I just don't think there's a reason not to have some follow-up behind it. 3 more pylons going down. It's not shift-clicking probes back to mining either. You can tell it's very chaotic micro right now for macro, sorry, for Mana. He's thinking about the kill. He's got Zealot Stalker ready to attack the front, and he's going to go for a Zealot warp into the main. But look, turrets are going up. If Spirit can deflect this might be good. The Prism is going to think twice here. He's going to stim some bio into that main, which is perfect. And dude, you got to get out of there, Mana, with a quick response. Very quick response, but that means there's not many units on the natural. I love that he stims forward on the natural, though. Dude, Spirit here with excellent movement to defend, but the force field on the ramp is still going to do a lot. Does take out the siege tank, but there's not that many Stalkers anymore. As long as the bio stays together, doesn't get pulled too far apart, it could be good. The Zealots do take out the turrets. Looks like the Prism went back in and died to those missile turrets. Spirit has to pull the SCVs. Can he shut this army down? Does take out a few Stalkers, sentries. Zealot does escape. Concussive shells never got made in this game. He's been on the back foot too much. Has Spirit. 5 workers for. He's got triple orbital. He's got triple mule able to drop, but 66 workers for Protoss. Now, to be fair, Mana still doesn't have a 4th. His main is half mined out about 20 seconds ago. His natural's going to be half mining out in a few minutes. Desperately needs a 4th base. Does Mana to secure the lead. Right now, there's no need to finish Spirit off. Spirit's economy is way down. That 4th Nexus, Forge, Robo Bay. The transition's very late, but it is now coming. He's got a lot of Stalkers on the left side of the map. I think he was expecting Spirit to maybe go for a YOLO drop. He was trying. I think he kind of had a spidey sense that Spirit's desperate. He's going to try and drop down the left side of the map. Those Stalkers are so far out of position. Yeah, he's got to recall them. Okay. Stalkers come home to try and defend. It's 20 Stalkers, 6 Zealots, 2 Sentries. Immortal is building as well. He's going to take out a Widowmine with these Stalkers. Blink is ready, of course, and does have to blink back immediately. Oh, no. He's getting jumped on. Okay, Mana, right now his army's overwhelmed. Even though he's ahead on economy, he needs to buy more time. He's not going to be able to. Those sentries separated from the Stalker Zealot. A great start to the fight for Spirit, but Spirit's army is already wounded. It's not even on full hit points going into this fight. So even though this is a ball of veteran Terran units, their meth is going to wear off soon. And of course, we all know what happens when your meth wears off. It's like that scene in the first scene of True Detective, where they're, you know, just going to raid a drug den, having a bit of a party. All I'm saying is there's going to be shotguns shooting through walls. There's going to be madness. There's going to be craziness. And when the meth wears off, you're going to be wondering, what the hell did I just do? 16 probes do go down, though. Is it worth it? That kind of ties up the economy. 10 worker lead for Protoss is nothing big. There's no fourth Nexus either, which would have been the big thing in this game. Dude, there's still no fourth Nexus. Did he start it and then cancel it? Oh no, Mana, don't let this one slip away. He's got one running Colossus on the way. I'd say he's still ahead a little because, of course, Spirit not mining a third is a disaster. But it just feels like a weird situation where I think Mana had him dead to rights. And he's going, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. And I think maybe not the best way to do it. Blinking into the main. Oh no, crazy move for Mana. Okay, good Prism Micro, good Prism Micro. Mana, oh my gosh, blinks back to the low ground. Dude, Mana right now is like a madman who just wants to stab, you know? It's Mana's he's like a 18th or 19th century cavalry commander. He's like, we will charge into them and they'll break in front of our superior morale. They will never stand up to the mettle of the great cavalry. We are the sons of noble houses. You know, like there's this just like zero respect for the opponent attitude in the way Mana's playing. He just wants to charge in. I mean, to be fair, he is Polish. The Polish Hussars, very, very good units. Oof. I think if you play enough Age of Empires 2, you really respect Hussars in general. You're like, food only light cavalry? Oh my god, I let them in my base one time and it ruins everything. Nothing like having 80 plus farms and 20 stables rallying winged Hussars at your opponent. Always a good time. Colossus Rangers on the way, 1-1 upgrades as well. We've got 2 Colossus and Immortal. More Colossus are building. Viking Bio Ghost coming in. 4th Nexus is finally building. By the way, there is a healing shrine on this right side of the map. I don't think Colossus can heal there, but you can heal up the other Protoss units, Terran units, anything on the ground. Heals very quickly there. Cool neutral feature on Persephone. Oh, those EMPs may be a bit too quick because they only really landed on Stalkers, which are already very fragile units. I think you want them on the Zealots and the Colossus a little bit more. He's going to stim forward. I don't know if Spirit has the numbers. Those force fields actually clump up his bio quite a bit. One Colossus goes down. There's still one standing. Zealot in the natural did already kill a few SCVs. The Widow Mines, will they be able to kill some units? Yes, they will. Whoa, if he can get the Colossus, that'd be big. Colossus will go down there to the Vikings, but he just doesn't have any firepower left on the ground. If Spirit had like just a few more Marines and Marauders here, it'd be okay. But look at this. The Stalkers are going for the high-value targets. Those medevacs taking them down. The Ghost will get taken out as well, of course, at some point. The Immortal running to the right. The Stalker's going to pull back. More Zealots arriving. And Spirit's on his last legs. He just doesn't have the numbers anymore. I think Mana, you know, you can tell he's so focused on the aggression. And that seems to be his MO. That seems to be what favors him. I do think Spirit, as like one of the better macro players in the world, but a player who's perpetually tilted by Protoss players historically, you'd think he should be able to take out Mana as long as he doesn't tilt here, like in at least a game or two. But I said Spirit was a big favorite going to this series. I stand by that I think should have been the thing. Then again, I haven't checked Mana's head-to-head with Spirit. I'm not sure on the Polish rivalry. So even though I think Spirit's like TVP is better than Mana's PvT, who knows? Maybe if you look at their head-to-head, Mana always beats him. I'll check that before the next game. All right, guys, we've checked the results as we go into game 3. It turns out, indeed, Mana has a 38% win rate. Spirit, 62% head-to-head historically. However, guess what? Mana did 2-1 Spirit, actually, in the qualifiers for PiGFest 5. Something I forgot about there. So, beat him there. He also beat him 4-2 in a big show match recently as well. So, in a best of 7. So, you know, Mana's beaten him twice recently. Feeling good in that regard. So, maybe form-wise, you know, it's not as favored for Spirit as I thought. That being said, I still think, you know, Mana has huge holes in his macro game. I don't know if third command center is the right way to do it, though, because it gives him so much room to play, but I think it's just being clear mistakes, right? I mean, if I was thinking about this from Spirit's point of view, like, what do you change up? Well, game one, we basically just, you know, we took a little bit too much damage to the to the fighting. You know, we just needed to have a starport there or protect the tanks a little bit better. Keep your units in a bit more of a tighter formation. It's okay to lose a few SCVs here or there, but you cannot lose your tanks, essentially, if you're going to play that Marine tank style. Whether you get a Viking out or you just are super paranoid at protecting with either a bunker in the main as well or just extra Marine spread. Game 2, that last one, I think all comes down to very simple things in terms of what Spirit can change up here, right? So what can Spirit change up to deal with what Mana's throwing his way? Well, essentially, it was the moment when he pulled into his main. He had a fantastic wall off. He had 2 tanks in the main, 15 Marines there, and then he just left 2 Marines in a bunker, 2 Marines in another bunker on the natural. And 2 bunkers is definitely not something you normally want to fight into as a Protoss, but it's almost like Spirit he just went, well, you can't attack because there's 2 bunkers, and he just was too far away. And if his Marines were standing here where they should have been, because remember, his tanks were fully protected behind wall-offs. Even if the Stalkers blink in, you're going to have time to get up there and defend. There's no way they're getting at those tanks. They were so well protected. He would have killed so many more Stalkers for the bunker snipes, being able to rebuild the bunkers, get a tank to the low ground, and just kind of reinforce his position. Instead, he was panic reinforcing, had to like siege on his ramp because he was under so much pressure, and he just took way too much damage. If you're going to play a 3 command center opening, can't be affording those sorts of holes in your game. Now, it is going to be what appears to be a Reaper coming out. I think this was after Marine, right? So it's a Marine expand into delayed Reaper. Hoping, I guess, that the Adept and Stalker move out on the map. But it's 2 Stalkers. Very safe for Mana, as Mana rallies to the natural. Looks like a very standard core first opening for him. You can see the weakness of core first in terms of your extra workers not really having anywhere to mine from and the like. And the Reaper is going to come in at an annoying time. Look at that. Well done. Yeah. Gets himself a probe. And the Stalker's coming home. So Stalker should be able to kill the Reaper, but he's going to get at least 2 probes. That's very annoying as a start. If he gets a third, that would be very frustrating. Oh, good focus fire for Spirit. Good pull for Mana, though. And Mana will shut it down. But you've already gone core first, which is, like I said, not a great economic opening. Whole point is that you have units on time, so you take no damage to Reapers. But the slightly delayed Reaper still slid in there. I found that little opening while the Stalker was scouting. And Mana ends up paying a hefty price. He's gone Sentry, and it looks like will be a blink opening here. Second gateway goes down in the natural, and a third one. Mana not a big fan of the wall off. Yeah, we want to see some chronos maybe into these probes perhaps, but I guess blink is not that early. Maybe you want a chrono blink. Starport for Spirit, we don't mind as well. Looks like a pretty standard opening for him. Very quick second barracks actually. Sorry, not that standard. He's delayed his depot to squeeze that barracks in. Wow, yeah, very optimized. It does mean you need to cut a little bit of Marine production here or there for this build, but I think this is a really nice way of doing it. Second Widow Mine as well. I'm not the biggest fan of the double Widow Mine drop, but as long as there's no Stargate and your opponent's not like spamming hallucinations, it's fine. Obviously, there's another hallucination ready. Robo coming down as well. So Robo 3-gate blink. Mana hasn't really been rushing third bases at all. I think that would have been a good pivot for him in this series, right? I think that what makes Hero so good right now is his ability to play the most bonkers, all-in, your face, I want to win the game StarCraft. And then, you know, he'll just turn on a dime and say, nah, I am going Super Greed. And that is hard to deal with, because right now, Super Greed would be really good against what Spirit's doing this game. I think it's a good choice after playing so hyper-aggressive 2 games in a row. The hallucination of these Stalkers on the map. This is the hallucination problem, as some Terran players are calling it right now. They're like, geez, might as well send an empty medevac out. Thing just gets followed by these bloody hallucinations. You can't sneak across the map at all. Gotta play so solid. I think Q is one of the best right now because he doesn't care too much about getting scouted. He's so solid in what he does. I don't think, like a lot of players, I think just feel so uncomfortable when Protoss can see what they're doing, but Q doesn't seem to care. Second bunker's going to go down. He's got a tank there. And I think playing probably 2 tanks or even 3 tanks double bunker every game against Mana is fine. Because Mana's just not rushing a third, right? So there's no economic pressure on Spirit here. Like, it's just, okay, he's just going to warp in Stalkers. He's making charge before a third base even. Like, 2-base charge, you know, no Forge, no Robo Bay. He does have a third gas, so he's banking up gas, but there's none of that like, oh, I got to be worried about delaying my third command center too long and camping on 2-base too long. I do think we'll see a third siege tank. He's got minerals now for it. He starts up an extra Marauder. A couple of depots going down as well, of course. Stalker's just poking. Medevac is down here. Looks like it came in, saw the 2 Stalkers, and promptly turned around. Indeed, third siege tank does start. Now, going past 3 siege tanks is usually not a good choice, specifically because they lack mobility and they're more of a defensive unit than an aggressive unit. You can bring them with a push, but if you continue to commit to them, the Protoss starts to feel like a Zerg player in terms of like, you know, Prism, Zealot, Stalkers start to feel like Lingbane on creep. In terms of like your tanks are just geriatric. They're so slow to get across that map, and they're kind of lumbering around and slowly. It's like you can hear them groaning as they try to siege up. Double Widowmine gets in there, and okay, we'll get a Stalker, but I think you're totally fine to lose a Stalker there. Don't lose any probes. Robo Bay, third Nexus. It's a very late third Nexus, 5.5 minutes. It's these sort of games where your opponent's a little paranoid. Terran doesn't have that much scouting, right? That medevac, only now, seeing how late the third was kind of like, what the hell's going on here? But there's a pivot hero started doing just 1 in 4, 1 in 5 games where he would rush Robo Bay and Forge, and he'd get his third like a minute quicker as well from what he would normally do. And he'd do this specifically after being really aggressive. And I remember loving that because I felt like Clem had just figured out how to play super safe and turtly against Hero, and then Hero was like, like, if you actually don't have vision to confirm, like, you think I'm doing that, but I'm not. I'm doing a very different style. You're playing too campy. You're building 2 bunkers, 3 tanks sitting at home, and I'm taking a third. I'm taking a fourth. I've got +2 Colossus. You don't have any Vikings, and it's just it almost just seems like a, you know, Protoss wins the information game and plays a slightly better style. Oh, look at that! Mana's Observer twerking in the face of that bio. The ultimate disrespect does escape. Well, it's frustrating to use a scan and not get the Observer. Tanks are moving forward. Marine Marauder as well. Observer sieges up over there. Okay. Zealots are going to move in that right side, guys. He's going to go for a drop on the right. That could do big damage at the same time. Marines are going to run in, but there's a Colossus there. Oh, unfortunate. Great defense setup for Mana, who's also got Stalkers on the front. He's going to leave the Zealots and the Prism over there. Stalkers coming in on the right side. He's going to blink a single one forward to try to take shots. Does get a tank, but loses 2 or 3 Stalkers. I think he lose he lost the Prism. He lost the Prism and 2 Stalkers. I mean, the 2 Stalkers for a tank is good, but Prism and 4 Zealots for 4 SCVs is not good. So you guys be the judge. I think Spirit's coming out of this early game much better. He is dealing with a third Colossus already on the way. And he's only got 2 Vikings, though, so he's behind in that regard. But numbers-wise, Spirit's good. He's only down 5 workers. The third is finally fully mining for Mana, and he's got a 4th on the way. But second Forge just now coming up. Only 7 gateways, doesn't even have 8. And Mana's really looking for damage. But if he stands and fights in tank range, I do not think it will go well for him. Observer still sees everything, though, so Mana's got a big advantage in that regard. 4th base saturating now. I feel like Mana's, if he could get to 72, 73 workers, I'd be so much like, I feel like having the 4th up now, it's like, if you can just mine like this, 4 base against 3 base for 2 minutes, and non-stop chrono your double upgrades, it's like, it suddenly feels like you're going to be back in an okay situation. Mana's going to still have more, less units on the field than like the raw amount of Marines and Marauders, but the Viking disadvantage, you know, it's getting to a situation where it's like, well, because of the tanks, he didn't feel he could push, and I think that was the right call. Now the Viking count's going to catch up. Observer finally goes down, by the way. And once there's like 8 Vikings, so 2 more Vikings, I think is where Mana's Colossus army gets much weaker. But he's already pivoting double Robo Disruptor. 5 gateways. 5th Nexus. Does have +2 getting chrono boosted as well. Like Mana's doing a good job of recovering from what has been a slightly better early game than Spirit. Units lost are very even, but Spirit just, of course, hit his macro a little bit harder due to that delayed third. It's a very close game. 2nd eBay Armory. 4th Command Center. Like, I keep mentioning Spirit's ahead on stuff, but if you're stuck in your corner the whole time with no map control, no vision, it's not that easy to just say, well, my numbers advantage wins the game. He scans, he sees Mana's army, he's going to push. Has he got the 8 Vikings? Only 6, but I guess if he has the 2 siege tanks, well, he's left 1 tank at home. Unfortunate there. Cannons try to go down. Mana does not know where this army is. He's got decent map vision. Not quite good enough. Loses a cannon. Has to cancel a shield and a battery. He's got a disruptor there forward. 5th Nexus will get cancelled in the bottom right side of our screen. Bio's pulling back. Disruptor goes forward. Only gets itself a single Widow Mine. Pylon's an easy picking there. Can't leave a red hit point pylon on the field. He's going to stim forward. Okay. Good pullback on the Vikings. Really good pullback for Spirit. Oh, Spirit's doing... Yeah, I think this is a decent fight. He's a bit clumped on the bio, but he does take out a Colossus. Now, his bio is very heavily stimmed. He's got to be careful because remember, he's only got 4 medevacs. He's going to chase right now away from the tanks, which is a bit of a crazy move. He does another stim to dodge the ball, which means he actually loses a Viking and good blink back there for Mana. Mana tried to come in with Zealots, but it did nothing. 18 probes in a 4th base. Okay, you just need to go home right now as Spirit. Spirit needs to get out of here. His army's so wounded. It's so wounded. Oh gosh, he's so wounded right now. He stims everything one more time. And Mana, happy to take that engage. He says, nah, you're way too wounded, bro. Your army is toast. The Vikings are going to go down, picks up the Colossus. Does end up losing the Prism, but 2 Colossus still stand. I think that was a good little fight for Mana. But he's only on 3 base mine. He's trying to retake a 4th up there. He's on 66 works. Remember, he built up all those probes, and then he lost them all immediately right afterwards. This bio needs to survive and heal. At the same time, Spirit needs to pull back here. His army's been wedged. And Mana's going to try and isolate the half that's at home. Split some Zealots into the natural to start killing the workers. Stalkers do go forward. He blinks them back. The Zealots are there. The Colossus could do big. It's going to be a bit of a base trade right now. The Bio's going to counterattack. But remember, every time Spirit stims, it's already bad because he's low on hit points. Balls are left hanging out in the open. Mana, if he lands a ball on that Bio, it'd be good. But he does not know that Bio army is there. The Disruptors are left stucking out. A few Stalkers as well. 11 probes do go down. It's going to be a bit of a base trade. Disruptor goes for the SCVs. Not what I was expecting here for Mana. I guess he feels confident against the army. Should he, though? Oh, man, his Colossus is going to go down. Mana, okay, he's got the Stalker count. If he can get rid of those Vikings, keep this Colossus alive, it could be good. It could be good. Oh, it's so close right now. The Colossus does survive. The Stalkers are there. If those few Zealots come in, he's going to overwhelm the Bio at the 3rd base of Spirit. But Spirit on the other side goes in, gets one of the Robos. The army has healed up a fair amount. Recoil's going to come in, and Spirit, I do think, is just going to run away. Surprised he didn't click on the Colossus. He tries to now, but he doesn't get it. The hot pickup is there for Mana, and Mana hunts this army down. Spirit stayed way too long. He needed to commit or run. And he's a bit too slow. I think if he picked up and boosted out of there, he might have been okay, but he wasn't sure if there's any Stalkers coming back that could have intercepted his drop. Picking up there always feels risky and kind of bad, but I think it was the better call. Spirit loses his entire army, and Mana, I cannot believe this, man. He did not have an amazing army or anything. He lost his 4th, but he realized he just forced Spirit to stim like 3-4 times in a row without committing to the fight. And then he just splits his army and says, let's base trade it, let's go. And Mana, I mean, I don't care what you say about this patch, this balance, or anything. I mean, I really think he's the underdog here. I think Spirit had a fantastic game 1 setup. Mana with a 1-base friggin' robo all in. I mean, come on. The fact that he managed to get an opening with that, find the damage. The fact that he then found the damage with the 3-gate blink aggression in game 2. And now here in game 3, he is looking for the win. Oh my lord. Of course, no GG there from Spirit. Not surprised by that. I think he can't believe he lost that game. But just that army. Overcommitted down here. I think the moment when he stimmed after the army over here is the point where it's a subtle thing, but this is how I feel like I've lost so many TVPs before. And it's a subtle bit of decision making, but it's, hey, can I actually overwhelm him? If the answer is no, then why are we stimming here? We've just stimmed this Bio. We're running it. Why? Right? Because we're leaving our tank and Widow Mines behind. We've already killed a 4th. I get we're maxed out. But if we're going to commit, we kind of need to commit, right? So we stimmed already. The previous stim was super questionable. But then we have to stim to get away now. Because we're realizing. And that is going to take forever for these medevacs to heal this up. So then he's able to force a fight, clear the Widow Mines tanks, and all of our Vikings that we spent so long building up, while our Bio is just too wounded. And this is a classic mistake of TVP. Your hit point management, your medevac energy management. It's something that's cost me so many times in the past, and it's unfortunate here in a big qualification match for Spirit for him to make that mistake. But I mean, Mana kept the pressure up. He even dodged that Widow Mine with the Disruptor pickup up north in the middle of the fight, which is freaking cool, man. Throws a Disruptor to keep the Bio away here. Allows his Stalkers to easily isolate the Vikings. Drops the Colossus at the last second. And that's just such a good fight for Mana. Even though the supply is still good for Spirit, you need the Vikings to get rid of the Colossus. He just lost 6 Vikings. That's a disaster. Losing a tank that would have mined 6 Vikings and this Bio army separated. That's, I mean, what a twist that is in this game. You're going to 4 base. You've got 2-2 on the way against the Protoss, who just cannot contest you in the long game. Oh, wow. What a good decision by Mana. Rather than hunting the army down and it just hiding in the corner of the map and eventually escaping, he actually just dives forward. It feels weird committing without a Warp Prism, but what a great decision this is by Mana. Mana is going to join the top 16 players in the group stage of PiGFest 6. GG, well played.